holding tight, can you see it? Streaming the truth live from where they decree it. Sylvia speaks, no filter, no buffer. Courtroom drama couldn't get any tougher.
When the gavel's first bang, to the witness turns tears. Sylvia's lens captures all your hopes and fears. Uploading justice one trial at a time. Tune in every moment, edges sublime.
Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Faces tell stories, the courtroom can't hide. Sylvia's insights cut through the divide. From jury talks to the lawyer's secret. In Sylvia's world, you know you'll need it. Behind the scenes where whispers are loud, her lens reveals the truth in the crowd. Courtroom secrets laid bare to see. Stay curious with Sylvia Spree. Every objection, every sharp retort, Sylvia's there to give you the report. Exclusive footage no one else can snag. From catchy headlines straight to the tag. Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show. Welcome to the Sylvia Show, oh yeah. She's got the inside scoop, don't you care? With every verdict, the suspense does grow. So hit subscribe, let's start the show.
Faces tell.
Hey guys, good evening everybody. Welcome to the infamous channel. Tonight we're going to recap what happened in court today. As you can see, I'm very good today. I'm very good. I'm not emotional. Today was very interesting, very eye-opening. A lot of information was provided. Mostly the professionals was on the stand today. We had the forensics interviewer. We had the DFACS worker, and we had the investigator, the one that takes pictures, crime scene investigator. We had him, and we had the chief of the fire department investigator. He's / chief of the police department, Gwinnett Police Department. So today was very, very interesting. They played 2 videos. One video was with the forensics interview with the interviewer, Miss Freeman. And then they played the interview with the police officer, with the chief police officer. And this was the interview with Nathan, the young man who set the fire. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background of what happened today. It was very, very good. It was very interesting, and it answered a lot of questions. Because one question I had in my head, right? Remember I was saying how Nathaniel said that he was locked up inside the room, right? And I was trying to figure out, if he's locked up inside the room, he should be able to get out, because usually the locks on the inside of the room, right? Right? No, guess what? They turned the lock where the The key part is on the inside, you know, where you need a key to unlock the door, and the part where you just lock it, you know, from the end, like turn it to lock it. Like, let me show you. Hold on, let me show you. Okay, you see? You see how the inside, let me pull up one right here. Okay, like right here. You see how this one is? The keys on one side, and then the other side, like the keys this side and the other side should be the one where you could twist or push open. You see this one? Y'all see that? You see how you could turn it? Well, this here was on the outside, and this part here, the key part, the one where you need a key part, that was on the inside. That's why the kids couldn't get out the room, because it was locked from the outside. You get what I'm saying? They switched it around. They put it in the opposite way. They switched it on the opposite way, and that's why the kids could not get out. And the reason why I found that out is when they had the investigating, the crime scene investigator who was taking the picture, took a picture of how the doors was locked. It was burnt. The lock was burned, but he showed how it was on the inside. And then they asked him, was it locked? When he tested it, it was locked. Two of the, well, I'm going to go, I just want to give you guys that part, because it was kind of like, I had some questions about that part. Okay, let's begin. When I got in court, there was the lady sitting outside in the hallway, and she was on the stand yesterday after I left. This is the forensics interviewer. She's a therapist who tried to find out exactly what happened from the mindset of the child. Okay, he was considered a victim as well as what do you call it? Perpetrator? What would they call it? A perpetrator or a villain? I don't know. Whichever one. He was both. He was a victim, and he was also the accused. So they were handling two different sides of the forensic. One was dealing with him more of as a victim, and then the suspect. Thank you, suspect. And then the other side, the police officer, was dealing with him as the suspect. Okay, because he was both. All right. When they started playing the video, and it started at 1.43. That was the timestamp that they started, and Miss Freeman was testifying on, and where she was talking about what her observation of Nathaniel during the interview, how he reacted to certain questions, how certain things he was more open and very talkative about certain things, and then there were certain things he didn't say much. He shut down, and he was quiet about his demeanor changed throughout the forensics interview. Okay. When the video first started, you see him take his glasses, and he's like has his glasses in his hand, and he plays with it, but he also has his mask on. And so she asked him if he wanted to take off his mask. She says, well, I don't have COVID. If you want to take off your mask, you can. It's up to you. And so he says he didn't want to catch COVID, but he did take off his mask. He had on a light blue mask on. He took it off. But throughout the interview, he kept like fidgeting and playing with the mask throughout that whole interview. There was times when he would smile. Other times he got quiet. He was one of the things that she had asked him, how was he feeling, right? He told her he wasn't feeling so great. And she asked him why he wasn't feeling so great. And she was saying, he was telling her that he was trying to get away from a bully. So I guess there was a bully at the children the RYDC, the Youth Detention Center. There was one bully in there that he said he was trying to get away from, and the therapist. I'm going to call her therapist, Miss Freeman. Miss Freeman asked him, did he ask for help since somebody's bullying him? He said, yeah, he asked for help. And that she asked him, did he get any help? And so he said, yes. He says, he said he gets help. And then she asked him, do you feel safe? He says, yeah, he feels safe, but not all the time he feel safe. And then he says that did he well, he did say he told one of the people that worked there, and which was a black lady. She did say a black lady. And she helps him out. She helps him to feel safe. So he tells her when something is going on, right? So then she goes into asking him questions and regarding going back into what happened with the fire, right? And so she let him do more of the talking, and there were times where she didn't hear and understand what he was saying. She would ask him, she would repeat what he was saying, and then she'll say to him, let me know if I'm saying the right thing, if I got it right. And so he would like confirm what she had said based on what he said. She was just basically repeating him, right? And so he mentioned to her that when he falls asleep, he feels like he's about to die, right? And then he says he stopped breathing. So she started asking him why did he feel that way? And he says, then he switched around and started talking about apple pancake, right? And then he said something about, no, she said she likes apple pancake, and he's like, he says he had mustard pancake. She asked him, have you ever had mustard pancake before? And he says no, he saw it on TV. Somebody was eating mustard pancake, right? And then they moved on. She started going back to questioning him about what happened. And because this is a couple of days after he was arrested. This is back in April of 2022. He talks about something with the 3 dogs and a cat. It was very hard for me to understand him unless she was repeating some stuff. It was hard for me to hear the video because his speech kind of like mumbles sometimes. So it was extremely hard for me to really dissect what he was saying. So please forgive me because I was just writing certain things down that he said. And now I'm trying to match it. Why? Because it was harder for me to understand, right? He was saying to her that he watched the shows. He had gotten in trouble, and because he snuck to watch a show when he wasn't supposed to be watching the show, right? He had, then she asked him, did they have TV? He says, yeah, they had a TV in every room, right? So she asked him, did he have a TV in his room? He says, yeah, but they controlled the TV. And she asked, how did they control the TV? He says they controlled it from where they were. They would be in the room and they would watch the camera, and the camera that he's talking about his parents. I'm sorry, those who don't know what I'm talking about. He's talking about his parents. The parents would be looking at the camera and they would see everything that's going on. And he was watching TV, and he couldn't watch TV unless they allowed him to watch TV. So he says, so then he says he was in Charlie's for 1 week. I couldn't understand what Charlie's was, but he did say he was in Charlie's for 1 week. And when he came there, Um, he kept playing with his mask. He was very fidgety and kept playing with the little mask that he had in his hand. Then he started laughing. I mean, he would go like different moods. You know, like one minute he'll be talking like explaining something to her, then he started laughing about something, and then she would ask him what he's laughing at, and then he was saying that she told him thank you, and that for being very patient with her, because she was having a hard time understanding him too. So she would repeat certain things, and then so she told him that she's grateful to him for being very patient, because if she doesn't understand something, help her to understand it by repeating it, explain it to him, right? Which she did a lot of repeating. Had she not been repeating, I wouldn't understand what he was saying, because he really had a speech delay in it. I mean, it was just difficult for me. Then she was asking him about him eating. Does he eat well there? And he said, yeah. He said he's the only one that eat all his vegetable. He says that he's a rarity. He's not I guess not normal, because he likes to eat vegetables, right? She asked him, do he get a chance to work out? He says, yeah, he works out and he plays basketball in the gym. This is at the juvenile detention center, right? Then she asked him about what he had said about parents. They were scary. He said his parents was very scary. So while they were playing the video, I happened to look to the right side of me, and I saw him. He was in the chair just rocking back and forth as he was watching the video. He was rocking back and forth, because I guess him watching the video has kind of started getting to him. And then eventually he left, and he didn't come back in the courtroom. He stayed out in the hallway, or with I think that's his grandmother. It was an older lady with him. So I think that was grandmother, because the grandpa was with her. So, but he didn't come back inside the courtroom anymore. Because he kept rocking. He was rocking just like that. And I think it was like affecting him. This is my observation when I looked over at him to the right. She asked him about when did he, because he was telling her his feet fell asleep, right? He said his feet fell off the, remember the little center block that we were showing? He said his feet fell off, and she asked him, when did his feet fall off? He said when he was 11. And she says, how do you know it happened when you was 11? What made you remember that you were age 11? Because she's trying to figure out, because he's given specific dates of certain things, specific age of certain things, and she's trying to figure out how does he remember that at that particular age when he don't know like how to count and don't know how to do certain things. So she's trying to pinpoint to him, how did he know this happened at that time? How did he know he was 5 years old when this happened? Or how did he know he was 11? But he said he just know, right? And then he kind of correlate the 11-year age with his brother not being in that room anymore. That room was not his brother's room at the time. So that kind of helped him to remember he was 11, because when his brother was in that room, that particular room, that room was, he turned 11 when they switched to that room, or something like that he mentioned, right? So that's how he was trying to correlate the time frame of his feet falling asleep, or he fell off the center block and got back on. And then he asked, did anybody else feet fall off? He says, yeah, his brother Sean feet fell off there and fell asleep, right? Um, he talked about the blue pipe again. He talked about, she asked him, how did he get beat? He says, the blue pipe. He says the blue pipe left some bruises on him. Then he said the belt. He said his dad slapped him 3 times and he kept hitting him on the head. He hit him in the head. And he said his head felt like it was about to burst. And he said his head kept hurting. He kept hurting. Then he said he couldn't hear what he said because his head was hurting. He couldn't hear what his father was saying because his head was hurting. He felt like he would be in, it felt like he would be there more days. Because, he didn't, I guess he didn't want to get in trouble. I mean, he just lived like very fearful. And what, he said his dad, he felt that his dad was super strong and he would beat him, and he was afraid his dad would come back and beat him up, right? And then the therapist said that she was glad that he was safe. She asked him, do you feel safe right now? He said, yeah. He felt safe being in the jail with other people, right? And he says why he got in trouble that time is because he was watching his sibling and his dad got pissed at him. And so that's why he slapped him. He got pissed off and slapped him. And he felt the pain and it was heavy. Oh, because she asked him, what type of pipe was it? What type of thing? He said it was heavy and it was thick, right? And he kept mentioning how he got beat again. And so what they did is they drew a picture. She asked him to draw a picture because he says that his dad hit him in an inappropriate place. So then she asked him to show the inappropriate place. So on the picture, he put down, you see what a little circle is? It was, I guess his pee-pee. That's the drawing they did. I tried to draw the drawing just like they did on the thing, because she showed it. She showed it on the on the easel. So he said that he touched him in inappropriate places, right? She asked him what. Okay, I already said what was in an inappropriate place, and she asked him, "Can you give me in a specific place, and can you show it to me in the picture?" So she started drawing a stick picture, and then he pointed to the part where it was an inappropriate place, and he got in trouble because he fell asleep. He fell asleep when he wanted to call the police, right? But he didn't, because he didn't want to get in trouble, because he had ran away before and his mom went and got him from the street. And when he got back, she beat him really bad after he came back. So he didn't want to run away. He wanted to call the police. So he was fearful. Okay. So then so they had she had a checklist. It was a checklist. It was called the life event checklist, right? And that was to help them to kind of pinpoint what happened, when it happened, around the time, if he has been affected by those particular things. And one of the things that it asked him was, had he had any kind of essay? And who did the essay? So he said that his dad, his mom, and Amber essayed him. Then they asked, was there any physical abuse? Who physically abused him? He said his dad, his mom, and Amber. But he did say it's not Amber's fault. They told Amber to do it, right? Then he talked about his dad killing a goat. He talked about his dad killing cats. And he asked him, she asked him, did you see your dad kill the cats? He says, no, Amber had told the dad had killed the cat. Right? But as far as the goat, he said he saw the knife and he saw the goat near the trash can. So he said that there was nobody else in the house. His mom was at work. So the only person that could have did it is his dad. That's what he said. His father is the one that could have killed the goat. So he also talked about he tried different ways to escape. He's tried to escape before. He tried different ways to escape. And he was planning in his head how he was going to do this. He's gonna escape some kind of way. So each time he tried to escape, he got caught. Oh, I forgot to tell you. He said he heard the goat crying, right? And then when he saw the goat, the next time he saw the goat was dead, right? And the goat was next to the trash can. I told y'all that already, right? He says, Dad killed the white goat. It was a white goat. He said, Mom was not there. She was at work. And so while he was doing the forensic interview, the bully that he was talking about just walked past the door, and he was looking at the door. I couldn't see the bully because, the only person you saw was his face. And so you could tell he was distracted when the bully came and he stopped talking. He kept looking over there at the bully. And so the therapist was asking him if he was okay. Does he feel unsafe? And he said, no. But he was distracted by that person walking by. Okay. She stopped the interview recording at 2 hours and 43 minutes and 45 seconds. And then he began. He kept repeating things. He kept repeating certain things over and over. And she said there was some neurological damage that he has. Because he kept planning his escape and he wanted to minimize his pain. That's what she said. He wanted to minimize his pain. And he went into survival mode. She talked about how his frontal cortex was not fully developed. And then she went and she went into the, going through the checklist of the life events, and he pinpointed certain things, and that's why he drew the drawing of who essayed him. And so she asked him how did it happen, and he shut down. He didn't say exactly what it was, right? So she started talking about disclosure in kids that has been essayed. She said there is a process of disclosure. In the first stages, most of the time when kids who has been essayed, there is a denial stage. They'll deny it ever happened, right? And then the second phase is the attentive. They're very attentive to certain things. They disclose a little bit at a time, right? And they try to get a feeling of how the person is going to react when they reveal certain things about certain stuff. And if they get a negative reaction, they'll retract it and not ever say anything else about it. But if they feel that the person is allowing them to not have this fear about them disclosing certain things, they'll become more and more able to disclose their SA situation. And then the final stage is the full disclosure. And in that which is the final stage of that, right? And it could take up to weeks for them to disclose exactly this, what happened to them in the SA situation. And sometimes they would not disclose because of a trauma bonding. She talks about that when the trauma bonding with that person, if that person is the caretaker or they feel a sense of responsibility to that person. They feel loyal to that person. They tend not to tell exactly what happened. Okay, that's why they say sometimes when somebody who's been SA at a young age, they don't disclose it until might be years later. Something might trigger it and then they'll remember certain things about that SA experience. And it's not that it didn't happen, it's just that they had it blocked in for so long and they decide to bring it out. Something might have just triggered them to bring it out. That's why I was saying how, remember in the case with Nesto, how his daughter told and everybody don't believe her. That's why everybody handles their disclosure different. And it's not that it didn't happen to certain people. It's just that they want to see the reaction. And if it's something that's not positive, that doesn't help them to feel comfortable, feel free to be able to share it, they'll retract it and hold back. Okay? Because it said sometimes they're the person that the perpetrator sometime will manipulate them and they groom them, right? And they said the children almost always love the person who has abused them. That's what she said. Y'all get it? Okay, now the background of the forensic interviewer. She has done over 400 forensic interviews. She's a professor at Bernal University. She teaches police officers how to recognize trauma. She also teaches at Hall County and Dawson. She has been brought in as an expert at over 75 cases, and she's a forensics child. Her expertise in forensics child psychology. He also told his mom. He also told about how his mom strangled he told how his mom strangled Amber. She asked why did his mom try to strangle Amber. He didn't say why. But he also said that both parents have tried to strangle him and Amber. He attempted to escape twice from the house, and he felt that this last time was a success because he set the fire, right? He wanted his house to burn down, y'all. He wanted the house to burn down. And he was planning it, how he planned it. First, this is what he said he did. He said he went to the porch and he had some first he climbed out the window. He got some plastic Walmart bags and he set the bags on fire, right? He also said he had the stick. He tried to set the stick on fire, but the stick wouldn't burn. He said he had 3 lighters. One lighter didn't work, and the other 2 lighters work, right? So he used the lighter to lock up the to set the fire off. He said he had Walmart bags all over. He saw how one of them went really like fast, and it exploded and everything. And he climbed out the window and hold on a second, let's see. Yeah, he talked about how it was a real great success. He lit the plastic bag too much. He said he had lit the plastic bag too much, and he wanted to grab it, but he couldn't. But he said he opened up the gate wide. He wanted to make sure the firefighters was able to come to the house to put the fire out. So he made sure he kept the gate open for the firefighters. During the forensics interview, when he was talking to the officers, let's go back to defects. Hold on, because I'm gonna tell the forensic officers, the police is the last interview. But let me tell you what happened with the defects worker. Okay, the defects worker was called in, and they told them there was the 3 children at the police station. So she went to police station. Where she went to police station, she saw the kids there. It was Amber, Sean, and Cody. She said that she observed the children, and they were dirty. She said it seemed like they hadn't taken a bath for weeks. She said, right? She said that when she tried to communicate with them, they didn't communicate. She saw that they had some sort of speech problem. And like she couldn't understand what Cody was it Cody or Sean? She couldn't understand what one of them was saying. And so she tried to make them feel comfortable by talking to them. She said the 911 dispatcher contacts defects. And the case manager, she started investigating the allegation of child abuse. And she said she was trained in child abuse and things like that. They asked what type of training she had, and she gave them, her CV information on that. And so when she came, she said she got there. It was late that night. She went in to the police station, and she saw the kids. They were sitting in the cafeteria area, and she saw them with a little zip bag, because the police officer had gave them a basic survival, the care package, basic care package. And so she saw Cody, he's 8, he did not know how to open the Ziploc bag. And so she, went to help him, and she was, asking him, what is this? And they couldn't tell her what it was and things like that. She says that when they got into the car, she also said they smell. She said they smell like they hadn't washed in a while. And she took pictures of them, and then she took them to the hospital to get an evaluation done on them. And that's when they saw there was bruises. She took pictures of Cody, his back and stuff. He had bruises on his back, and there were some marks, looked like there were belt marks and things like that. And they were very thin. The kids were skinny, really malnutrition. And then she let them put them in an emergency foster home until the emergency placement for them until they could find something more permanent. She did take pictures of them, She took him to the hospital, and at the hospital, they said that they needed to go do further examination on the kids to find out how malnutrition they were and things like that. Um, the thing that really shocked them about, she felt that the kids had not been out for a while because certain things was like very new to them. They asked like what kind of things, and she said, well, when they got into her car, um, when she locked the car, they jumped because the car automatically locked, and they didn't understand. They asked her, what was that? And she explained to them that what it was, and she explained to them the GPS because it was looking at her GPS. They didn't understand all that. They didn't understand a lot of stuff that was going on in the car, and they were asking her questions about it and stuff like that. She said they were extreme. She said the boys were extremely dirty. They had sunburn, and they seemed that they hadn't had several months of bathing. They were not talkative. They didn't talk at all. And the children did not engage with her at all. She tried to talk to them, but they didn't say much to her. They were very, very quiet. The basic care package has some toiletries in it, and she would ask them questions about what was in it, and they didn't know. She saw that the kids did not interact with each other. They didn't even talk to each other. They just sat there. They wouldn't even talk to each other. She said that it was kind of strange that she saw that they were all delayed children. They were all delayed, and they were very small for their age. They were very small. She said they act younger than what they were. They realized they were not matching to their age. There's certain things that they were doing. Okay. All right. Then I told you she said they smell. She took them to the closest hospital, which was Piedmont of Gwinnett. Okay. The prosecutor asked her, did she get a chance to go meet up with Nate? She said yes. She went to meet him a couple of days later. And the reason why she went to go see him because he had a case of abuse. So he was a victim. So she went to go see him. And she says one of the things that was like really strange to her was when she met with him, she asked him about how was he feeling? Did he like being there? She said he was happy to be there. She was happy to be in jail. Happy to be in jail. He was happy that the house was burned. She said usually when she meet a kid that's in the jail, they don't want to be there. They want to get out, but not him. He was happy, and she asked him why was he so happy. He says he was happy to meet people. He was happy to be able to talk to people, and she said that was the strangest experience for her because all the kids that's ever been to RYDC, they were never happy to be in a place like that. But Nate was happy. She said he was very thin. He was hunchback. He had a hunchback. Then she after she didn't take pictures of him the first day. Then she came back a couple of days later and took pictures of him. And when she took pictures, you saw his arms. He looked like he was skin and bone, y'all. His body was so little and so he was skinny. His legs and his knees and everything was like really, really skinny. So he talked about, because when the defects worker asked him about who was he scared most, he said he was more scared of his mother the most, because she chased him when he tried to run away. She chased him across the road, and she brought him back and she beat him. He said he didn't see other people for years. He said that he never wanted to see his mother again, but he wanted to see his father, to ask his father a few questions. And one of the questions he wanted to ask his father was, why wasn't he vaccinated? I guess they were asking him that at the hospital. So he wanted to ask his father why he wasn't vaccinated. But he did say his mom was more scarier than his dad. He was more scared of his mom than his dad. Now, the next person that came up after the defects lady was the picture taking guy. He took a whole bunch of pictures, and most of the picture was about the burnt house. He took a picture. You saw him taking a picture of the two dead cats. They asked him, was the cat did the cats look like they had their head bashed? He said no, it was more from the fire, because the cats was on the outside. So when Nate was in the interviewing room with the police officer, he was asking questions about how did they find the two dogs? I guess it was two dogs that they had. They said no. He asked about the cats, and then he got really sad when they told him that his sister had died. And then that's when he said he didn't mean to hurt anybody. And it was really, really sad, y'all. Really sad. Anybody have any question? I try to write as much as I can. But a lot of stuff was repeating stuff, because he was repeating stuff that he had said during one interview, and then the next one was just repeated stuff. Oh, he talked about the 3 type of meals he had. He had oatmeal, peanut butter sandwich, and when they asked Amber about eating, Amber said they ate mashed potato, green beans, and ground beef. Yeah, the mom took a plea deal. Yes, the mom took a plea deal. She will be coming to testify. She's one of the people that's testifying, as well as Amber. Amber is going to be testifying as well. The mom's been charged, but the mom is as guilty as the dad, but the dad is the one that's getting the SA charges. Because remember, he said that he heard. Well, Amber's going to testify, so we're going to hear what Amber said about that stuff. We'll see what she said. She's a very pleasant young lady. Very pleasant. Very sweet, very pleasant. Did she get prison? They're not going to give any prison. Y'all, I told y'all, I will be reading the paperwork behind the scene with you guys, and members only. So in the paperwork, it's going to tell you all the stuff that's going on with her. She took the plea deal, but they're not going to give her prison time until after she testified, until after this trial is over with. That's when they'll tell her how much time she's going to end up serving. Because she took a plea deal. All right, guys. That's basically it. Today was really, it was very interesting. It gave me a little bit of info on the things of questions that I had. And you saw him in the video, how he was, I mean, I felt so bad for him. He was so little. The big old police officer was putting handcuffs on him because, after they told him that his sister had was killed in the fire. He got really, really sad, y'all. He got really sad. Then he says, I didn't mean to hurt anybody. He just wanted the house to be burned down. Just wanted the house to be burned down. It's a very, very, very sad, a very sad case, very triggering, very, very hurtful. Thank you, Kim. Very hurtful. Very. The amount of time, how those kids were living that way, how they locked them inside the room, changed the thing on the other way. Hi. Hi, America. Bryant. How are you? But it's a real. I feel DFACS did not do their job, because I'm telling you, when Sean first went to the hospital, I mean, when the teacher first told them what was happening to that young man, when they saw the bruises on his face, they claimed they went to check the house, right? They went and checked the house. They said the house was clean. It's more than just having the house clean. You're supposed to stay on there and watch the whole situation with the case. How you just gonna let it go like that? Because let me tell you, he felt he had no other option but to burn the house down to get some attention to his situation. I'm not saying it's right that he did that. It's definitely not a right thing to do, because his sister ended up dying in that. But nobody was paying any attention to them. They were crying out. They definitely dropped the ball. His sister would be alive right now if they didn't drop the ball. And I really like the relationship that he has that's going on. You could tell the people that's around him really cares about him. And I'm glad he didn't get as much time that they could have gave him for that. He spent a few months in jail, in juvie, and he's out. He's out. And I just pray to continue to give him all the therapy he needs to help him to get over this. He felt he had no option, y'all. He was so depressed for help. He was so desperate for help. Hey, Mimi. Totally sad that his sister died. I don't think he meant. No, he didn't meant it at all. Man, y'all should have seen his face during the interview, and how when they told him they told him at the end, right before they arrest him, put the handcuffs on him, that his sister had died. He asked about the dog. He asked about the cat. Then he asked about his family. Then that's when they told him his sister had died, and that they were going to charge him with her death and for the arson. Real sad, y'all. But anyhow, I'm about to go to bed because I'm tired, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm going back to court. I'm going back to court tomorrow. I really want to see the a lot of workers don't do their job and they take kids away from parents, don't do anything. Exactly. They are so screwed up. A parent that didn't let's not talk about that. The ones that they need to take out, they don't. The ones that they don't need to take out, they do. Give them a hard time. It took a child to die for them to do something about it. But anyway, y'all, I'll see you guys later. Love you guys. Tomorrow I'll be in court, and I'll see you. Tomorrow's gonna be a long day for me. I got court and I got to work till 12 o'clock. So I'll be out all day. Good night, everybody. I'm going to go to sleep early tonight. Later, alligator. Night, night.
Thank you for watching the infamous Sylvia channel, where laughter and fun make up our panel. Together we build this digital spree. We appreciate you and our growing family. With mods by our side and chat flowing free in this online space. It's just you and me, we laugh until tears roll down like the rain. In this virtual world, you ease all my pains. We're family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We cherish the moments, the highs and lows, from the latest gossip to stories untold. You're more than a viewer, you're part of the crew in this space of ours. It's all because of you. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction showing we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign, enjoys what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment makes us grow. Mods and chat, keeping the vibe so right. Together we shine like stars in the night. This digital world where emotion is shared, every post and reaction show when we care. The love is real in this virtual domain. With every sign and joy's what we'll gain. We're a family, not just a show. Every click and comment